All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 396 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller, and today we're going to talk some Atlanta Falcons football. Most of the time, I try to balance it out throughout the week, talk a little Georgia Southern, talk about a little Atlanta Falcons, and for the most part, I've done that. But we're going to end the rest of this week on a note talking about the Atlanta Falcons, and we're going to get into talking about Mr. Deion Jones, one of my favorite linebackers. I had a little quarrel with Deion Jones because of the fact that he could possibly be traded at one point. I did a poll on my YouTube asking, do I think Deion Jones would be traded? And a lot of people saying that they didn't think he would be. But I was kind of indifferent of it. I didn't know what was going to happen because we signed a lot of linebackers. And the fact right now Deion Jones is placed on the PUP list, I'm going to give you a new take that I have on this and give you my thoughts. I want you to know what you guys think about it. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. I talk about Georgia Southern, Atlanta Falcons football. My last episode, I talked about J.D. King retiring from football. I wish him the best. You know, he's been on my mind a good bit of the day. So hopefully everything is going well with him, his new endeavors or whatever the case may be. I wish him the best. Thank you for everything you've done at Georgia Southern. But we're going to talk about right now with Deion Jones, linebacker Deion Jones, big contributor for the Atlanta Falcons. And I'm gonna say this right now, even though he's on the PUP list, I kind of had a change of heart now. I don't think he's going to be traded. At one point, I thought he was going to be out of here because we signed so many linebackers, but at this point I will be shocked if he's traded because he's on the PUP list, and you got a lot of guys that are going to be in and out of rotation and inside linebacker. As of right now, since he's not going to be performing, you got Rashaan Evans, Michael Walker, Troy Anderson, and Nick Kwiatkowski, which that is a lot of talent in the inner and middle linebacker position. But with the type of defense we run, I think we're going to be moving a lot of guys around. I don't think there's going to be like one or two people set in the middle linebacker position 80 or 90% of the time in the game. There's going to be a lot of rotation. There's going to be a lot of guys blitzing. Some of these guys are going to be playing outside and inside. They're going to be doing a lot under Dean Pease's defense. And I think Deion Jones, even though a lot of people, and I was one of them that felt like he was a little undersized, we do have to understand he was one of the leaders on this team, I think, with tackle for loss or something like that. He did a pretty good job playing the position, even though we did have some issues when we looked at Deion Jones. He was like, he looks a little lost. But when you look at the numbers, I don't have them pulled up, unfortunately. When you look at the numbers, he was fairly productive with him and Foye Oluokun. Unfortunately, Foye Oluokun has moved to Jacksonville. We place him with Rashaan Evans. And I think with Michael Walker already being, a guy that knows the defense and play pretty well, those three guys are going to be a pretty good, they're going to be a pretty good rotation whenever Deion Jones comes back. Now, there is room for people to get cut. And I think, there's no secret that this could be a situation, because right now you have 5 guys at inside linebacker. I would not be surprised if that gets cut down, to 4, maybe 3, because everybody that's on the team now is not going to make the team when it comes to the final roster. You got to understand there are cuts throughout the preseason, or in some cases even at the training camp, getting ready for the preseason. So if your position is pretty much need to be earned on this team. I'm not saying that it has anything to do with Deion Jones. I think whatever he does, he's going to be fine. If he's out there performing and playing, he's going to have a spot. The only thing that concerns me is availability. If you're not available, that could be a turn where you could get moved on, or they'll trade you or they'll cut you. I don't think they're going to cut Deion Jones. He's too costly, but the trade rumors could come up if he's not able to perform, and if he just get surpassed by the other linebackers. With Rashaan Evans, who knows the defense, Michael Walker, who knows the defense, I'm not sure how much Nick Kwiatkowski knows, but it'll be really interesting to see what he knows along with Troy Anderson coming along. So what does that mean for Deion Jones if that's the case? I mean, if he's not around for, like, say, training camp and the preseason or whatever the case may be, what does that necessarily mean? Personally, my gut feeling, I don't think it doesn't mean anything, because I think Deion Jones is going to be around. Earlier I know I did say that it could have been a possibility that he'd be traded, but like I said, gut feeling, I think he's going to be okay. But your best ability is availability. And hopefully this shoulder surgery has been a success. He's going to be able to bounce back and play and help be in this rotation. We also have to understand that we have these other guys that are ready to go, and it's going to be really interesting, like if he is rotated in, like how well he's going to perform. The main thing about it is Deion Jones just have to get back to his old self. With Deion Jones get back to his old self, he can be a force at the middle linebacker position. Regardless if everybody's going to be rotated in or out, those guys can be rotated into other positions in the linebacker, group. So you really want to, be, really attentive of what happens with this. I mean, is this a situation where Deion Jones actually comes back and him and Rashad Evans, which I think that right there is an immediate competition for LB1 or MLB1 for our middle linebacker. But does that bode well if both of them are on this field at the same time? You got to understand, Foye Oluokun played the wingback linebacker for the most part. So does this mean that one of these guys is going to be moving around? Which, to be honest with you, I don't have a problem with any one of these guys moving to another position in the linebacker core just to have those guys on the field. Because I think that with Dean Pease's defense, you got to have the knowledge to run the defense, and also you got to be athletic to move around and do a little bit of everything. And I think that's one thing that bodes well for a Deion Jones, because a lot of people say, oh, he's undersized, he missed a handful of tackles, this, that, and third. Like I said, I don't have the stats in front of me, but from what I've seen, and I think a couple people in the comment section was telling me that Deion Jones was like very productive on defense for the most part. And I saw him on two eyes. Him and Foye Oluokun and obviously AJ Terrell did pretty much everything to keep everything intact when it comes to the defense or the piece of the defense or whatever was left of the defense. So, yeah, you have an argument for Deion Jones if he's out there actually doing something to, cause havoc on the team. Now, like I said, my whole situation with this is this really a part of the plan? Now, before I go, I will say this. There's also, in my opinion, there's been I feel like I said, my opinion, that they were probably going to try to move from Deion Jones, but since he got injured, they fell back. That was how I was feeling initially. Now, and obviously with all the linebackers we continue to sign, we don't know where Deion Jones is, where will he stand as far as being a rotation. Will he still be the top linebacker, whatever the case may be. But it's all about how you perform, not necessarily in training camp, but if he does play preseason or if he was going to play preseason, I don't know, but that's how I felt at one point. But now I feel like they're going to try to hold on to him. I think he's going to be a part of the rotation, and that rotation could be really, really successful, because you look at all the linebackers that we have in that position as far as middle linebackers go. Rashad Evans is a guy that, to be honest with you, I think he's going to be a really big, factor on the defense. I think he's going to be a lot better than we think he is. And with him already knowing Dean Pease's defense and the way that Dean Pease want to utilize him immediately, be on the lookout for that. Now, you have Troy Anderson and Kwiatkowski and Michael Walker. I think Michael Walker is one of those guys very similar to Deion Jones. He can do a little bit of everything. He's a little bit undersized, but he can move around and make tackles and make plays on the ball. So that works. I think Troy Anderson is one of these guys that he's like a Swiss Army knife, like for real. He can do not just the ability to do everything. He's shown that he can do everything. Hell, you might even have him running the ball or something at some point, but that's another story. And Kwiatkowski looked like he's been picked up just for depth purposes, which is fine. I'm not against that at all. But I just feel that with Kwiatkowski there, he can be an asset, he can contribute. But the way things are going, it's going to be really interesting how well all five of these guys be rotated in and out. I'm not sure if that'll even be the case, but I would like to see how that goes, because Deion Jones is an asset at the end of the day. With all these linebackers being signed, I was a little worried about it, but he's an asset at the end of the day. And he costs a lot of money as well. I mean, you're just not going to just drop that kind of money and move on. You'll probably try to seek a trade if that was the case. But gut feeling at this point, I think he's going to be around. I think he's going to be helpful for the team. And I think this team is going to continue to improve. Coach Arthur Smith and company has done a very good job with this team. Terry Fontenot done a pretty good job with picking players, making certain acquisitions, and all this other good stuff. And hopefully it pays off sometime in the next 2 or 3 years. We just don't know. Desmond Ridder just signed his contract or whatever the case may be. So will he be the face of the franchise? Will Deion Jones continue to be the face of the defense? Because like right now, AJ Terrell looks like he got that spot, but don't sleep on Deion Jones at the end of the day. I think really it's just all about availability, and hopefully we'll be able to see him be available in general. That's pretty much all I got for this Friday. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hey man, I appreciate you guys. I cannot thank you guys enough for the support, all the love and attention. People are retweeting, liking the podcast, sending me feedback, whatever the case may be. Give me a 5-star rating on the Apple Star Chart if you haven't already. Also, just give me a rating wherever you can. Hit the like button. Give me some feedback if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do in your eyes, or if I can do something different. Please let me know, and I'll try to, accommodate within reason to make a better show for you guys, because it's all about you guys. Without you guys, it just does not go. One thing before I go, I'm on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, so you can find out me in any avenue, audio or visual. All right, y'all. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful Friday. Thank you guys for all the things that you've done. As far as supporting, I can't thank you guys enough. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good one. And unless some crazy news go on throughout the weekend, I'll be back on Monday. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy and y'all be blessed. Peace.